Welcome back to another DiesInEveryFilm video, and today we are doing 10 tools that I use in the workshop every day of all the time and everything. So let's go and look at the 10 tools that I use every day and all the time and everything. Probably the most used tool that I have is a Scribe, and this is one that I've got from Picker Pens, and it has a nice little carbide tip on it, which is pretty cool, and I use that for scratching all sorts. This is one thing that I carry in my pocket at all times. Obviously it's got this little thing, and this is definitely something that I'd recommend getting. You don't have to get this one. They also do a variety of different styles, like these two other ones that I've got, both with carbide tips. The second tool that I use pretty much every single day is a center punch. If you are drilling anything at all, then I'd certainly recommend using a center punch because it centers everything, obviously. I really like this auto center punch. This is actually the second one which I've got. It's got a bit of a wider tip on it for bigger drill bits. And as with everything, these come in a variety of flavors. I've got this guy, which is just a high-speed steel one. I think it's somewhat what someone made. And also one of these optical center punches. If you've watched a lot of my videos, you'll have seen me use this quite a lot, especially on knives and stuff where you want the center punch to be pretty accurate. Then you'd use something like this. You'd put this on the piece, put the optics in there. It's got a little crosshair on it to get it dead center. Hold this in place, take this out, put that in, give it a hammer, and then the dot should be exactly where you need it to be. So this is certainly something that I'd recommend purchasing, but probably, I think they're quite expensive, so probably at a later date. But if not, try and get one of these auto ones. Don't get the cheap Chinese ones, they're a load of crap. Get a good one. Tool number 3 is going to be hands. Obviously, everyone always forgets about these things. You know, they're just something that you can't purchase. Most people have them. Some people have one. Some people have this one. Some people have none at all. But if you don't have them, you can buy them. You can buy electric ones. But hands are certainly a tool that I use every day. And not only do I use these tools in the workshop, I use them at home as well for doing other stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Now let's go on to the next tool. Tool number 3. Tool number 4 is going to be Diecom, which is also available in a couple of different flavours. I've got this spray paint one, which is good for big areas. When I cut out a couple of templates on a big sheet of steel, this is a good one for covering a big area all at once. I've also got the standard Diecom one, which comes with a little brush. This is good for like medium-sized areas. It spreads on pretty nicely. But then I also have a nice little Diecom pen. These things are brilliant just to get to hand. You know, if you end up knocking some of the Diecom off or some areas you don't cover properly, use this Diecom pen. I use this Diecom pen quite a lot on the edges that I'm going to scribe. However, sometimes people can't afford Diecom, so what you can use is just a marker pen. Just be aware that marker pen, once it gets hot, will start to diminish and disappear, whereas Diecom stays around there. Item number 5 is going to be a ruler. Obviously, because I use a ruler every single day. This one's caked in crap because I use rulers for all sorts, not even just ruling stuff like rule you, for drawing lines, straight lines, for measuring stuff. And this one I actually used to clamp in between two pieces of steel, and I coated it in wax so I could glue the steel together with that size gap. Rulers obviously come in a different variety of sizes. I've got this one which I really like for using on kydex because it has a cork backing. And this is also a steel flexible one. I do have a longer version of that as well, but with when using it on certain things, because of the cork backing, it stops it slipping around, whereas this guy would slip around. But this is one that I'll keep in my pocket at all times. Tool number 6 is going to be these guys, eyeballs. Like with hands, eyeballs are pretty similar. You've got two. Some people have got one. Some people have got the other one. Some people have got none. But if you don't have any, then you use your ears. Then you can just go on. We can have like a pie chart of this with your eyes being the central. If you don't have any eyes, use your ears. And then, you know, going off, use touch and stuff. So it goes back to the hands. If you don't have any eyes or hands, then maybe just use your ears or whatever you've got there. So eyes are really important. And the eyes go well with the rulers, because if you can't have eyes, then you can't have rulers to see with your eyes and stuff. Let's just move on to the next one. Now, next on the list is going to be clamps. I use these guys, these cant twists, and they are inch, I think. Let me just measure that. Yes, they are an inch, because I managed to fit 2. Anyway, these are brilliant, these little clamps. I use these pretty much every single day for clamping things, obviously, but these come in a variety of different sizes as well. With me working with metal and stuff like that, I actually prefer these cant twists because they don't twist. As you clamp down on the piece, it will just clamp down. Sometimes when you're trying to clamp and you use, you know, the C clamps, then as it's turning, it'll turn whatever you try to clamp down. These are brilliant. And these also come in a variety of different sizes. I've got this big beast here. This is a beauty. Look at the size of that. That's for if you want to clamp someone's head to the bench and weld it and stuff. And I've also got this little 2-inch guy, which is quite big, you know. This is you. This is the guy she told you not to worry about. Don't worry about him, because this is the guy I use every day. This guy rarely gets used. So there's a story in there for you. Let's move on to the next one. Number 8 is going to be 1-2-3 blocks or 3-2-1 blocks, depending on what you call them, obviously. And these are called 1-2-3 blocks because it goes 1-inch, 2-inch, and 3-inch, which is pretty good for measuring stuff as well and holding stuff at a certain height. I actually have a load of these. This is the only one I could find because they're just spread all over the workshop. But I also have 2 more boxes of them because I like to buy extra ones, especially if you look on eBay and they're cheap. These are just made in China, but yeah, I mean, you don't need anything too accurate, especially in doing what I do. I also use these for counterbalancing stuff, like on the laser. When I've got something on the laser, I'll put it on there so I know it's not going to move around. And when I'm welding, I'll use it for propping stuff and making stuff gaps and stuff like that. So these are, I mean, yeah, these are brilliant. I definitely recommend getting these just because they look cool as well. So you don't even have to use them for anything. Just use them as an art piece at home or whatever. Let's just move on to the next one. Number 8 is going to be calipers. And I'd certainly recommend buying a load of cheap calipers. This is 3 sets of cheap calipers that I've got. I bought them off eBay secondhand for scratching all sorts of shit, which will piss people off for some reason. People seem to get pretty et up about these calipers, but I will use... These are my favourite ones. I don't know what brand they are. They are... More and Right ones, and these were nice and cheap off eBay. I think I paid about £5 for them, but I'll literally use these for everything, every single day. I use them for measuring stuff, obviously. I use them for scratching shit and marking stuff, so yeah, they are really handy. And like I say, get some cheap ones. I do have some Mitutoyo digital ones, which I never use because they were expensive, and they've been in a drawer hidden away because they were expensive. So yeah, get some of these. These are brilliant. Even the Chinese ones, I think these were the original ones that I ever got, which were cheap Chinese ones. So yeah, some Chinese stuff is worth getting. Yeah. And last but by no means least, we have number 10, the right angle. This is the right angle. This is one that I use all the time because it's nice and small. I like small things. I'm used to holding small things in my hands. Do with that as you will. So this guy, yep, is nice and small. It is easy to hold in your pocket. But like I said, with everything, they come in a variety of different flavours. I have all sorts of different ones. I've got, you know, like the... I'll show you. Let's just go and have a look. I'm not going to get them all because they're spread all over the workshop. But I have this one. This is a pretty handy one, little barcode one. It's good for... You adjust it. So you... But, it's, yeah, I like it. I've got this guy, which is well used. I think I bought a pack of these Faithful ones. I think you get 3 in a box, but they're just Chinese things, and I'm sure, yep, that's where I got that one from as well. But honestly, I definitely recommend if you can find the little small ones. I think this is like a 2-inch one. I definitely recommend them. I literally use this for everything, like I've already said. But then I also have this guy, and I like this one because it has the little T-piece at the bottom, so you can butt it up nicely and then clamp it in place with your you can't twist clamps, you know. This is a brilliant one, and because it's nice and big, it's good for measuring other stuff. If you watch my videos, you'll see I've used this quite a lot. That's why it's got a marker pen and scuff marks all over it. But these are definitely things that I would recommend, especially the little guys. Don't leave the little guys out. Thanks everyone for watching, and as I said, I'll be doing more videos like this in the time that I've got. If you want to see videos like this and you have any interests, then let me know in the comments, because I don't know what I was about to say then, but just let me know in the comments what videos like this you would like to see, and if I can do it, I'll do it. You know, any other tool variation videos. I do have one idea for tools I wish I'd bought sooner, which if you'd like to know about that, I'll put that as a first thingy anyway. Whatever, just go and read the description and shit. Don't forget to check me out on social media, and I'll probably see you in the next video. Probably I ain't going to see you, because it's, you know, you're going to see me. And anyway, see you later. Thank you. Enjoy yourself. Subscribe if you want. It doesn't really matter. Bye.